this ain't no flex. Just make sure you tune to the RPX. Stay dropping jewels all on the airways. Keep sitting hunting like every single day. This ain't no shade, this ain't no flex. Just make sure you tune to the RPX. Stay dropping jewels all on the airways. Keep sitting hunting like every single day. RPX. Yeah, just the RPX where you can sit back and catch a vibe at. But your mind gotta be open like a surgeon with a scalpel. Mixed with the tips that can help with the mental, also the spiritual, and even the physical. The way she break it down, you don't need a visual. Always keep it fair and also critical. Everything is clear, ain't no need for subliminals. Growth is essential. The love is not rental. You might be perplexed, but it's so simple. If you wanna know how you can interact, just hit the IG or the clock of where it at. So come get involved. It don't even cost. Just hit the DM if you need to talk. So all my good people out there, stay blessed and make sure you tune in to the RPX. This ain't no shade, this ain't no flex. Just make sure you tune to the RPX. Stay dropping jewels all on the airways. Keep sitting hunting like every single day. This ain't no shade, this ain't no flex. Just make sure you tune to the RPX. Stay dropping jewels all on the airways. Keep sitting hunting like every single day. RPX.
Hey ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the X Radio here at Glockaware, where you can find us every Thursday night at 6 p.m. If you are tuned in, you're listening, you want to see us, you can go to YouTube, type in Glockaware, and hit the live link for the X Radio. This is the last week of July, July 28th.
Can't hear myself.
Also known as my mother's birthday and many others as well.
Oh, happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah, so happy birthday, Mom.
Shout out to Mom. What's Mom's name?
She goes by Kate nowadays.
Okay, Kate. Get it, Kay. What's up, Kay? Special K.
Right. So, yeah, check us out. We have some awesome guests today, as always. And, you know, we're closing out the month of July with Nelly, Yoga Fitness.
Better way, though.
Yeah, it's been a good month. I've been excited to come. I'm not no shade to anyone else, but I've been excited to come to each
You can throw that
week.
palm tree. Forget them.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right here.
I've had fun. It's allowed me to be me in a group setting, you know, so that's fun.
Because I like Skittles. I like a variety of colors and tastes and shapes and sizes.
Is there one that you don't like?
On the Skittles?
Yeah.
The green one.
Okay.
I can do without it.
All
Get
right.
rid of that green one. I'm over it.
Okay.
Okay. Which one? Which one you?
I'm not a big Skittles person, but I might say yellow.
Yellow? Get rid of yellow?
No, red. No, red for sure. I don't
get
like
rid of
get
fruit
so-
punch.
Yeah, red for sure.
Done with
Never
fruit
mind.
punch.
I forgot all the colors.
Done
there.
with fruit punch and done with the green.
Yeah.
Done with that. So listen, I like to always set the tone. First of all, this is my last episode, guys. You got to get out there and let people know you want to see more of me, okay? More Nelly. More Nelly, more Nelly. Listen, I am so honored, so grateful, so thankful to you, Rosie, for even seeing something in me that I didn't see in myself.
Girl, how everyone
asking
sees
me
it. Everyone sees it.
so long
I see how people
ago.
react to you.
Oh, my God. Like, don't mean to toot my own horn, but beep, beep, goddammit. Like,
yeah.
I'm so excited. Like, I don't want this to end. Anybody that she has coming up next, if you're not bringing the heat, reschedule yourself, because I'm knocking y'all out. Like, that's it. That's all.
She's gonna get on the chat and be like, "Excuse me,
Yeah,
I need to spice this up a little bit the Nelly way."
No, because it's this.
It's good. It's organic.
This right
it's
here?
fun. It's fun. That's what I
We're
like about
the
it.
Kathy and Hoda.
Oh.
Like, we got this. Like, why even break it up? We Ebony and Ivory. This is
fun.
it.
It is definitely
This is
fun.
it. So listen, people, say that you want to see more of me, more with Rosie, more with me by myself. I don't care. Listen, this lady has put the light and the bug in me that now I don't want to give it up. I don't want to let it go. I want to be able to talk to my people, reach the people. This is what I do for a living, at teaching yoga every morning. It's so awesome to get the testimonials that I get from the people that come to my class. I'm honored to have the guests that I'm going to have coming in, sliding in today. Don't be surprised by who pops up. We got people just popping up, okay? People popping up. I'm going to introduce some of the people
it's the Nelly
that I
pop-up
got
shop
on the side of me. I'm just holding off on it because I'm so excited. So listen, I got to set the tone like I do the last 2 episodes. So with that being said, let's set our intention, soften your gaze, and allow the eyes to come to a gentle close. Focus on your pranayama in this moment and breathe in slow and control with intention. Exhale, cleanse, and release with purpose. Remove all clutter from your mind, all distractions, all nervousness, all frustration. Come into this conversation with a pure mind and a pure heart. Soften your gaze, blink your eyes open, wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Let's do it, people. Let's bring the heat. Let's talk about some things. Let's talk about it. So listen, let me introduce some folks first before we even get into this conversation, right? So last week, we talked about this book.
We talked about a lot of stuff.
We talked about a lot of stuff, but that book, that getting tangled book. Listen, let me tell you something about this lady right here. She knew me before I knew myself. Okay, I know her by I know her by another name. I'm not gonna tell the world what the other name that I know. That's up to her to tell y'all. But I'm gonna introduce Charlie Bravo, and I'm also gonna introduce my sister in fitness right here, my sister in yoga, Abby, and my sister, cousin, oh God, everything. Charlie Bravo, the author of Tangled in the Web. A Philly obsession, y'all. I need the people who've read this book to come into this chat room.
Dom was like,
holler
our
at
book
Charlie
club
Bravo.
is...
Feel free to pull out your phone, Charlie, and go live so the people that follow you know where you are, how to tune in. She got the book, y'all.
How are y'all ladies doing today?
Hey, listen, I told y'all it's going to be more people coming in. It's a family affair. It's a community. It takes a village. Hey, you boy Chocolate Drop that. Listen, I told y'all. See, y'all remember her from the first episode. That's my little cousin, Jade.
The little, not so little.
Baby girl, I'm sorry. What's your name again? Kaya. And Kaya. Listen, we bringing the heat today. We have to go out with a bang. It's my last episode before she goes and let somebody else take the reign. I'm going to gracefully give up the mic, but I really don't want to.
Listen, you got your own good things in store, and we're going to be busy, girl.
See?
Just let it happen.
Speaking it into existence. I love the energy.
Yeah,
I love the vibes.
Happen.
So all right, let's just fuck it. Let's just get into it. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to waste no time. This is my last episode. I got to get in everything.
We could get some wireless mics as well.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
We need to mic them up. We just going to probably have to pass. The broski! The broski,
Bobby
the queen,
Stewart
the king,
podcast.
and the queen.
What's up,
Da-da-da-da. Come on in here, bro. Get in here, dog.
What's up?
Get in here, get in here. Listen, it's my last episode. I gotta bring them out.
We talking shit today.
Get the tissue. Get the tissue. We're gonna need it for our
sugar,
mouth.
honey, iced tea today, baby. I bought. Listen, so Dom, you kind of missed the introduction, so I'm gonna just briefly introduce you. This is Dom. This is my brother right here. I met him at the Y. That is his beautiful lady over there, Vita. That's also my sister in fitness. We know, the three of us know each other. Abby, me, Dom, all from the Y. Shout out to the Y, West Philly. So introductions. You already know these two young ladies over there, Jade and Kaya. They were here with us on the first episode.
Y'all killed it.
Now, remember I talked about this Tangled in the Web book by Charlie Bravo? Well, here she is.
Charlie Bravo.
She is here, ready to talk about her book, ready to get you guys all excited about this Philly obsession. I also have Abby here. That is my sister in yoga. I just wanted to have a collective amount of people, young. I don't say old because that's a curse word, because ain't none of us in here old. We just aging fine like wine. That part. Ain't no old words up in here. So let's get into it, right? I want to jump right into being tangled in the web. I want to give Charlie the floor for a second. Give her some exposure. Take out that book. Let me see that book. Let me show the people what the book look like. You can get your book.
Where can you get the book?
Where can you get the book? How much does the book cost? All that good stuff. Because, you know, black people, we need to know. How much does it cost?
Well, the paperback is $19.99.
Here you go. Let's mic you up. Here you go.
The paperback is
Can we hear you?
No, they're gonna turn.
That's all right. We
It's
don't hear you yet,
green.
but you
talking to the top there. There you go.
There you go.
Can you hear me
You're
now?
in
Hey,
Okay.
she's
So the
up there.
paperback is $19.99. The hard copy is $28.99. You can find it on Amazon, if you will, and we are now in Harriet's bookstore.
Okay.
Shout out to Harriet's
Shout out to
bookstore.
Harriet's bookstore.
Harriet's
By next
bookstore.
week, my website will be back up, and you can get them directly from Charlie Bravo.
So let's get into this book.
Let's not get into
No,
this.
we gotta get into it because let's gotta get into it.
I was uncomfortable when she was describing it, so then we had to
Wait, I thought I was the only one because it got quiet right quick. It got quiet. Like, pause.
This is a grown folks podcast. You can talk about what's going on in that book.
Yeah.
I would have never brought it up if it was PG-13.
Yeah,
I didn't think. Yeah, no.
I know she spoke about the book last week, and I was just like, and she was like, and Chanel was like, oh, it's all steamy.
Y'all
She
gotta
had
get
to go like this a couple
Yeah.
times.
A lot
but-
of people have been having to take
Baby.
drink a cup of water.
I gotta read it in private.
touch
I have to read it in
themselves,
the
have
room
someone
by
else
myself.
touch
Oh
them.
yeah.
It's gonna make you.
So what was the inspiration behind this book? What motive? Like let's talk about your journey because a lot of people probably want to write a book and don't know how to even go about it. So let's get into it.
What happened was my husband found himself in a little bit of a college situation. We know what going to college means as an adult sometimes.
Okay.
Writing is always therapeutic for me. So on those late night, early mornings when I couldn't sleep, I just let my pen hit the paper because I'm not technology savvy. So I literally hand wrote this.
Okay.
In a short amount of time. What happened was I would send it to him in college.
Okay.
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 We following
And
along.
then
Yeah, we
proofread it.
following along.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
I
following
I
along.
would send it to him in college, and then his dormitory brothers
Okay.
would be like, "Hey, is your wife sending the next part and the next part?" And I'm like, "Well, it was just a short story, just something to pass time by." And they kept saying,
They
"No,
said we
like,
need more.
yeah, like we need more, we need more." So I just kept adding and adding, and before I knew it, I had wrote 597 handwritten pages,
Wow.
and it became a
Tangled.
bestseller in the
I need the
in
hard copy.
college.
That's gonna be my next one.
Yeah.
My coffee
Oh,
table
yeah.
version. I need that.
Definitely have to get the.
Oh, I'm getting it. Oh, you ain't got to say.
Well, you already know what this book do for you. And any relationship that's on a any marriage that's a little boring.
So did you journal
So listen,
before, or how did
No,
how
I
did?
I didn't journal this at all. I just
No, I mean like before you said writing was
Oh, yeah,
therapeutic
yeah,
for
yeah,
you.
Always journal.
Okay.
Always kept a diary or a journal. So we had diaries.
We don't say the old words, curse word.
I'm a little
Seasoned.
mature.
You're
I'm
seasoned.
seasoned.
Or you got
Seasoned.
experience.
I'm very
Yeah.
seasoned.
Like a cast
my own
iron
horn.
pen.
But,
Yeah.
yeah. But I've always journaled. I found it always therapeutic. So it always encourages me to just get my life back on track. When I sometimes can write down and then read back what's on the paper. It can kind of center me sometimes.
So when did the title come to you? Like what? Like when did you know that it was going to be tangled in the web?
You got to read the words on the paper. The title kind of manifests itself.
Okay.
It was. I mean, if you start, it starts off. It starts off juicy.
Starts all tangled.
I mean, literally, it's not one of those books that you
No.
have to wait until you get to the fourth or
So
fifth
no,
chapter.
you know what it's about right there.
No.
Then
No.
and there.
Yeah.
You got it.
Now you trying to figure.
Now you want
soon as
more.
you start reading it, you trying to figure out where the
Who is
fuck is this gonna go?
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
think you know where it's gonna go, but you don't.
don't know.
No, I don't know how you came up with this. It's fucking genius. I can't wait to see Taraji P. Henson play
Baby.
Suya.
I knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say that. But the best thing is that it's a series. This is just book 1. Book
Nice,
2
right?
is already done, and book 3 is in the works.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm bringing some heavy hitters in here today, babe.
You gonna have
Tangled.
Listen, I
We
got
gonna
your
get it.
copies right here.
She bought some.
I bought some.
$20.
Cash, of course, and you can Cash App as well.
Cash
Cash
App.
and
You have Cash App? Well, you have a book.
Hey, that's what I'm talking. See what I'm saying? It's about making connections, networking, giving people exposure, just supporting one another. When I tell you like this lady right here, like baby, I ain't even because I ain't trying to cry. I ain't crying today.
Listen.
Shout out to Boo, her brother.
Oh,
Shout out to my god brother. Shout out to Scooty. Abby. Shout out to her mama. Shout out to everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody. The twins. Like, listen. Like,
Everybody.
listen.
The whole 23 and me.
Listen. Listen.
Family affair.
Listen, I swear to God, like this is literally this right here is just like I'm so proud of you. It's so hard for me to keep calling you Charlie, but
I know. It's okay. You can throw me out there.
Nope.
No, it's okay.
You're gonna have to say it. No, I'm not doing it. But it's that one there.
Yeah.
Baby, like my mom. Listen, she made her like. It's just the lineage is just long. It just our mothers were best friends.
Yeah.
As kids, you know what I mean. So this relationship is arranged. Right. It's arranged, and it ain't no breaking this bond. It's no blood involved, but it don't even matter.
Sometimes those could be the best.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, those could
like
definitely be the best.
This is a part of my village. So when we advertise this village conversations, she is a part of that village. Like she's known me before I've known myself. I know that she was there when I was born. Like I didn't know that part. Like she could probably tell me stories about myself.
Nelly.
Probably peeing in the bed and all that. I was a crybaby. I was a crybaby. I don't care. I don't care. And I peed the bed. So what? Don't judge me. Judge your man. Judge your man. So now let's give shine a little light on Abby for a second. Don't cover your face. Because you came on here. Abby Kadabby. Get on up here, Abby Kadab.
Abby Kadab.
Let's talk to the world, Ab. Let's tell the world what you got going on. Who are you? What do you do? Where can people find you? All that good stuff.
Who am I? What do I do? And where can people find me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a personal trainer. And I'm a nutrition consultant. I teach people how to reverse their symptoms of disease using food. People can find me. You can text me. Text me at 770-896-2545. If you're struggling with any health issues, you want some solutions, can reach out to me.
Cool.
Abby, and when I met you, you were very judgy. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to spill the tea.
When you met me, I was very
Yes, I'm going to tell you. Hold on. I'm going to tell you why. Because I used to come into the
This
gym
episode's awesome.
every day with my pre-workout. I used to drink my pre-workout every day. She's like, "What are those toxins that you're drinking inside of there?"
That's
and
right.
she told me about that you juiced and I know that it was way better than my. And I'm joking, but I know that every time you saw me with my pre-workout, you just that face. You see right there. That's what it is. That was the face. That was the look. And you
that
told
was
me,
the face. That was the
look. Yes.
But
and I know that you were looking out for me as well. But I just wanted to go ahead and throw that out there. That was
Listen,
my
this
main
this
interest.
lady
Because
right
I
here is
love
all
you.
about
Yeah.
nutrients.
It's because I love people. I love people of color. I want us to be educated about how to take care of ourselves.
Yes,
Because I think it's something that's been taken from us.
absolutely.
And every time I
because
think
I
about-
love you, not
thank-
because I'm judging.
Thank you. No,
That's
I'm
right.
only
That's
playing.
right.
I'm only playing.
We just shit
And
talking on
yeah,
here.
I'm
That's what
shit
we do.
talking. And
We shit talking.
I haven't gotten ever since that conversation. I have not had a
Never
pre-workout
got another
ever since.
See? See, although it came across as judging, you realized that she was looking out
Oh,
for your
yeah,
best
yeah.
You
interest.
probably knew, but you were just like, it's
needed-
convenient.
Yeah, I just needed to hear it.
Right.
I
And
just
I
needed to
needed
hear it.
someone to tell me
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
See?
Yeah.
That was dope.
that was the good friend.
See, that's what it's about, people. And that's what we have to do sometimes. We have to be willing to take constructive criticism or criticism at all, especially if it's coming from a place of love. But consider your sources. Because sometimes a hater will try to throw you off your course. So you don't always have to consider information from outside sources if you feel as though that person doesn't have your best interest at heart.
Right.
However, I know that Abby is a very genuine person,
Very.
and I admire her knowledge of nutrients and nutrition and vegetables. Like, I was so impressed when my daughter watched her daughter for a hot second, and her daughter was like eating tomatoes like they were grapes.
Wow.
I was impressed by that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm so used to kids wanting McDonald's and wanting things that are not healthy for them. And her daughter was like, no, I want broccoli, or I want, and I was just like, are you sure? So hold on one second. See, this is real live right here. Hey, Erica. You here? You outside? All right, I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna tell my husband to meet you at the door. We live right now. Listen. It's going down, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all the love is real right now, and this is why I want to keep it going because Erica says she thinks she's outside. Got her? Awesome.
This is why I say it's doable, girl.
I have to keep it going, right? And this is important because I'm giving people a voice. I'm giving people a platform. I'm giving people exposure and networking. Listen, come through. I'm so excited about this last episode. I'm bringing heavy hitters. You understand me? And y'all matching? Let me find out you going to the down. You going to the down after this? You want to see the Isley Brothers after this? Oh,
they did like every week.
Listen, Erica Gaines. Let me just say something about this lady right here. She just walked in. Y'all don't see her on camera yet, but I'm bringing heavy hitters. Charlie Bravo. That's Erica. Erica, Charlie, Davita, Abby, Dom. I mean, you know, you never seen her. She comes to the Y. She works out at the Y. That's how I met her. Listen. She took my class. That's how I met her. But she must be the time frame. I promise you she would take it. She would take your class. Her classes are dope. Not just saying. And so is Abby's. Abby teaches yoga too. So listen, Erica Gaines. Let me just say a brief something about this lady right here. She is a breath of fresh air in this community. This podcast, these last 3-4 weeks, what we have been talking about in our communities, the things that are going on with our youth. This lady is in the trenches with our youth. I mean, North Philly, like trenches with our youth. And I needed to bring her in here to I know we joke and we kid and we're all over the place with our conversations. And that's what I love about this podcast is that it's not just focused on one issue. We're all over the place. I'm all over the place. That's my personality. There is no one side to me. Right. I have several sides, just multiple personality disorder is what you call it. But okay. I'll take it. But Erica, I love and appreciate you. You have exposed me to so much going on in the community. She was just like you, Rosie, with do you have your LLC? Get it? Because there's grants out here that I can help you with in terms of bringing this stuff into the schools. I've been dragging my feet a little bit. I'm a bit of a procrastinator, but I have people that are holding me accountable. And I appreciate each person in this room right now tonight because you all are holding me accountable for doing this, for moving forward. And I appreciate you, Erica. I appreciate what you're trying to do in our communities. When I tell you she floods my email, the minute she gets y'all email, just be prepared. Because she's going to let you know. You will not be able to say, oh, you didn't know about it when it comes to anything she's involved in. She going to make sure you know about it. Now, if you didn't check your email, that's your fault. Because she's going to make sure that you know. And whenever I have sent somebody her way, she's been accessible. She's been just a resource. And I'm telling you guys, connect with her. Make sure we all exchange information before this day is over because we just don't know, you know what I mean, how the next person can help us. I didn't know that this was going to turn into what it turned into. When you said, well, you think you want to co-host and, come on for the Muffin Job? I'm like, I'm always saying, yeah, okay, I'll do it. The closer it got to it, the more nervous I got. The more I wanted to back out.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, what the fuck did I sign up for? I'm not ready for this shit. And she was such a light because she was like, sweetheart, I got you. Just show up. That's all you need to do is show up and I'm going to guide you. And you have been everything. Like everything.
We got it done.
Dom, you were just like the cherry on top in terms of bringing this all together and not letting it be totally a feminine vibe.
Right.
You bring that opposite opinion, that male testosterone that brings balance. And that's what yoga and meditation and mindfulness is about. It's about balance. So I didn't want it to be just about women and just about, whatever I wanted to talk about. I wanted it to be about everything that people that I know, people that I love, want to talk about. So that's why I have my village in here today. That's why I got my selective group and these people in here today. So listen, I'm gonna talk. I want to bring up some stuff Because that's what we do, right? Because I want everybody's opinion. I want Charlie's opinion. I want Erica's opinion. Come on in here, Erica. Let everybody see you because nobody got to see you yet. I want you to introduce yourself to the world. Let people know where they can find you, how they can contact you, all that good stuff. And exactly what do you do? Because you do a lot.
I do a lot.
You do a lot.
I am the director of Communities That Care, which is mobilizing coalitions, building coalitions in North Philadelphia. I work for Central Division Victim Services. Okay, so this is heavy work. Victim Services, my agency is servicing the 6th, the 9th, and the 22nd police districts. We're providing resources for victims of crime. I'm working ahead of the game using prevention science, building coalitions, and also helping communities solve their own problems. A big piece of that is resources, but a huge part of it is mobilizing. So we can put a plan of action together to make sure that we create safe spaces for young people in North Philadelphia. And everybody is a part of the community, right? So Nellie's over here doing mindfulness and meditation and yoga. And my communication with her was, wow, this is necessary in our community, in our city that's dealing with trauma. Because what prevention is talking about is getting ahead, but really looking at the source, which is the root of the problem.
Right.
Which is really surrounded by major trauma that we're not dealing with. As a community, we're not dealing with an individual. And we know mindfulness and yoga is a piece of that, okay, in terms of seeking that peace and getting some support in that area. So that was my attraction to her, taking her class and saying, hey, wow, I know that she can play a part in the community. So if she's not in schools, but she already was, and then I was a person that was an integral part of planning a day of serenity, which we had a day in Philadelphia where we brought the whole city and community together to really talk about what's going on. And we brought together healing sessions and resources together to deal with trauma and what's going on with our families who are suffering from gun violence. It's not just our families, right? Because we're all interconnected. So everybody is dealing with this in one way or another. And so Nellie came and she provided yoga sessions for the community. She also, with her mom and her husband, had a resource table and shared information in the community. And that's what it's really all about. So I have 2 coalitions right now, and one is in Strawberry Mansion community. The other one is in the 37th Ward, which also encompasses the Kensington community. So those coalitions are live. What it means for me is hope and optimism. When in a time where we think everything is going wrong, we have to feel good about our city again, and we have to feel good about our communities, and we have to take our communities back.
Let me ask you a question. How did you feel about Mayor Kenny's statement?
It was hurtful.
Thank you.
It was hurtful.
It was.
We need, our leaders to really stand up in those times when we're struggling. He's human. We make mistakes.
Right.
I hope that he recovers from that. It was a national platform, and so I was concerned about that. I am pro-Philly.
That's
so
right.
I'm for my city.
Period.
And I'm always going to be for my city. And so we have diamonds in this concrete.
Yes, we do.
We have people that care. We have boots on the ground. We have youth serving organization. A lot of resources that are available. The issue is we're such a large city, right? And we work in silos sometimes instead of working together. And we don't sometimes come out of our communities enough to network with other communities. So we don't really know all of the resources that our community has to offer for us and for our children. So that's why the Communities That Care work is so important for me to do. The coalition work is important to make sure that we're sharing those resources for communities, right? To also shine a light on organizations to make sure that people know they exist, and then also help them with funding. So they're sustainable and they can grow and they can expand and we can duplicate those models. And as a major city, we don't have to do this by ourselves, right? We have to look back sometimes in history to see where we were and to see that it was a group of people that came together to address the issues that we had.
I'm glad that you brought that up because this was in my notes, and I don't mean to cut you off, but it connects to what you're saying. The walkout in 1967. Do you feel there were a group of kids, thousands of kids back in 1967 that walked out based on a protest of just injustices with our education in terms of being Black people, right? And this happened in Philly. And do you think that that's something like that should happen again, or is it necessary? Based on what I'm seeing and what you are experiencing in our school district right now, is another walkout necessary?
Well, I'm always on the side of empowerment in terms of youth and understanding that they need to take ownership in what's going on as well in terms of leading the way or standing up for injustice whenever it rears. A walkout, if that's something that the young people feel as though they want to mobilize and do, then I'll be right there with them, standing right by them and supporting them. I think that we're at an era that our young people are so amazing, right? They're not going to stand for it, right? We need to support them. We need to make sure that we can channel that, but we also need to hold those that are in power accountable for what they are not doing in our community. And biggest piece of that is making sure we're voting the proper people into office and making sure that I want to talk about
something that Black people always say they don't want to do.
Vote the right people in, and then once they get in, it doesn't end. Once they get in, we need to hold them accountable. And we need to make sure that we're constantly sharing with them our issues and our concerns. Make sure you know who your elected officials are. Make sure you show up. Make sure you contact your state representatives. Make sure you know who they are in your community. They are working for you. They are servicing you. And if they're not doing effective jobs, you need to let them know. And when their term is up, they need to go. Period. And then we need to get behind some folks that are doing some great things in the community. And we need to also encourage our young people and share with them about public service and talk about how they can get involved and get engaged in the process. And that's another thing that we're doing with the communities that care. We're looking at mobilizing youth and youth leadership. I just got back from a national CADCA conference that was sponsored by Department of Behavioral Health and Intellectual Disability and represented Philadelphia. And I'm looking to go back, but I want to bring people with me in the community, and I want to bring young people so we can develop our next level of youth leadership. That's what's necessary.
What do you think? A lot of people just aren't aware of the services, or they say, hey, I know there's representatives and everything, but they can't do anything for me. But it's because they don't know what services they offer and what they are able to do if they get the number of people saying, hey, we need this in our community.
Right.
What kind of campaigning does your organization do to say, hey, we're really here to provide services for you, or you to take your questions, comments, and concerns?
Right. That's a great question. One of the things that the Communities That Care model does, that we use a community impact approach. So we have a lot of players that are on those coalition meetings, and we're holding them accountable to share resources. I have an email chain that we share. We also want families to know about clearinghouses, where one location or a website or a place where you can go or you can call to get an array of services. And we have that in our city. We have that with the United Way 211. We have a 311 in the city of Philadelphia. But that information is not being shared to say, hey, I'm going through this struggle. I'm going through those problems. We also have local sites such as Benephili centers that have broken this whole city up into a pie that has community resources and public services that people can apply to right on the phone. They don't need to come in. So it's a lot of services. I will say that right now we have these community coalition organizations in the city of Philadelphia. Feel free to contact me at Central Division Victim Services. I'm a former resource and referral person. I believe in knowing what's available for you in your community. And I think that that's very important for all of our citizens to know what resources are available for me in my community to help me in my situation. And then once I get that information, I'm not going to keep it to myself. I'm going to share it with my neighbors. I'm going to share it with people in my communities. I'm going to share it with whoever we can. So within our coalition, we'll have businesses, we'll have nonprofit organizations, we'll have hospitals, we'll have schools, we'll have ward leaders. We have one of our colleagues, Dawn, if you're on here watching, girl, I'm calling you out.
Shout out to
Dawn
Dawn.
Woods, for our city, she's heading all us block captains. So she's my ace.
And we need more block captains.
Yeah, so we need to recruit for block captains, but that ensures that my information is getting to the block captains. Now, block captains, if you're out there, you make sure you do your job.
That's right.
Do you think there's a why is there a shortage? Like, because of broken down community?
Our communities is changing.
Yeah.
We're dealing with a major gentrification situation and housing situation in our city. Right? We have whole communities that are being moved and uprooted, and of course it's a shift. It's also too, we have a strong elderly community, love you elderly community.
Yeah, shout out to
holding
my
it down for their
elderly
blocks for
community.
years.
That's
They're
right.
tired.
They're tired.
They're tired.
Yeah.
They're retiring. They're doing other things.
Absolutely.
And so we need our next group of leaders. In our city, we also have a junior block captain program. Okay, this comes with major incentives and resources.
Wow.
Okay, for your communities and for your block. But for right now, Dawn Woods is my point of contact for the city of Philadelphia, and I'm able to utilize her in a very effective way by sharing resources and information to her and get it. I also use major city services, so city organizations, Department of Behavioral Health, Health Department, you name it. We have a lot of community partners that we're sharing this information, but it's not even that. I'll give it to anybody that is on my email chain. And right now, it's very massive. I have a large email chain that I share information with every day, but I'm not the only one that's doing this communities that care work in the city. I have two coalitions, and I have North Philadelphia, Strawberry Mansion, 37th Ward, but we have partners such as Anti-Violence Partnership that services the North Philadelphia. And then we have ADAC, which is Anti-Drug and Alcohol Crusaders, that services the West and the Southwest community. Now, this community that cares model is an international model. It's not just in the U.S., it's all over.
Okay.
But why in those three sections of the city, right? Not Northwest, not South Philly, right? I would love to expand to South Philly, and I don't turn away anybody that comes my way. But we go by statistics and what's going on with the crime. What's going on in our communities, and we go by the raw data. And as I stated, I represent Central Division Victim Services, and we service victims of crime. But everybody needs to get in the prevention space to prevent it from happening. If it happens, we don't want it to happen again.
Right.
And how do we come together as a community to start having those conversations? And people want to know what you can do. Get involved. If you want to be a part of coalition, I have two.
Do you think that people are scared to get involved?
I think they don't know what skills that they have, right?
Okay.
That they can use to help. But right, I want your ideas.
Right.
I want your information. I want your voice. I want your time. It doesn't cost you anything to be a part of the communities that care process. It costs you times and you wanting to use your gifts, your talents, or anything that you think you can bring. Also, for you to take this bone and carry it back to your community and let people know what's going on. So let your household know what resources are available. Let your block know what resources are available. And when we get involved in terms of advocacy work, all right, to speak truth to the power, show up and stand with us.
See, listen, you see, where is the bomb drop in it? Come on, people. Listen, I'm talking to the people. I'm trying to wake us up. I'm so filled up. You know what I mean? With love, with admiration for everyone in this room, for everything that everyone is contributing to this conversation, to our communities in our own ways. Just even down to being tangled in the web. You're getting more people reading, people.
Yes.
Open up a book. Even if it's fiction. Read it. It expands your vocabulary. You know what I mean? It just takes your mind to a place where we don't use our imaginations like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's
We just,
true.
like, where's our imagination? That childlike spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of us still find ourselves being like kid-like? Are there certain things that you guys like to do that just like,
goofy,
I
yeah.
know I'm childish.
Yeah, me too.
Call me Childish Gambino. Shout out to Childish Gambino. I'm childish.
But it's part of the process. Like, it's part of the balance we talked about.
Right.
Right.
You know, you have to, and you have to tap into your inner child to be able to be whole.
So now, you know, I always got to segue from one thing into the other, and I'm always all over the place, and I got to say as much as I can say before our time is up. But back to the children. Back to the children. We talked a lot about children, and I got to bring up some of the stuff that we've been talking about now that I have Erica here. I have Charlie Bravo here. I have Abby here. She has a young child. I would love to know your perspective on this Sesame Place class action lawsuit, because you have a small brown child who would have probably been victim to that discrimination that these brown children have
I
experienced.
have a question about that now, because I heard that now, of course, there's this whole lawsuit and everything.
Oh, it's a whole $25 million.
So it's kind of like a new Me Too movement.
Absolutely.
Like, because how do you prove that something that happened to you, God knows
Well, see,
when?
that's the beauty of everybody recording shit. Everything is recorded.
Well, yeah, that.
Everything. Even if you're not recording yourself, somebody across
Somebody
the way
else
might
is,
catch
yeah.
you on their video and. Like, everybody's recording everything.
And I'm
If it wasn't for the videos, it would be Sesame Place's word against the black people who are making these accusations, and probably nothing would have come of it.
And I'm so thankful for these conversations that we're having, because it's giving me an outlook to actually see that this stuff is happening. Because I had a conversation with my mom, you know, and as black people, we always endure. We were always told
Yep.
to endure no matter what's going on. You know, you just got to keep on striving. And my mom, you know, we had a conversation about it briefly, and she was like, oh, like, I knew about that back in the day when I was taking you to Sesame Place. And I'm like, yeah, mama. And I'm like, you know,
Like, so we're very accepting.
You
of
better
it.
bust out
Okay.
crying. You better bust out crying. You better tell your mom.
I don't even know who.
You better get on in that
whatever
lawsuit.
character. No, I'm not. But we're just even this, and I'm happy that, you know, that I'm not happy that it happened. But we can
Right.
come out again, and we can see that this stuff is happening, and we can go ahead and make change. Because how I grew up, you know, you just had to deal with stuff, or you had to be quiet about it
Yeah.
for whatever it is,
Or
you know.
accept it.
Yeah, accepting of any type of abuse. You just gotta, hey, just suck it up, and then you got to keep on moving. So
Right.
yeah.
Like, I just, I don't know how I would have reacted, right? And racism, I think, as black people, is in our face more often than we want to admit.
Yeah.
We experience it every day,
Yeah.
white people. Sorry, Rosie, but we do.
Yeah.
We do. And I think sometimes, because I grew up in Connecticut and I had white friends, and I've had these conversations with my white friends. And sometimes I feel like my white friends thought that I was just being paranoid because I'm black, and I experienced it enough that now we think everything is based on racism. No, I know the difference. I know when I'm being racially profiled, and I know when my husband is being racially profiled, and that's a difference too. Because now I'm a lighter skinned black person, so I don't experience the level of racism all the time that my husband does, and my husband is chocolate baby, yes. However, I have been a witness to the shit that he's experienced as a dark skinned man, and it opened my eyes even more. You know, it made me even more aware of racism, probably things that because it didn't affect me, I just let it go, right? But racism is so deep, and I'm looking, it's in our school districts, guys. It's in our school systems, and it's so evident right now. And this is one of the reasons why I had to have Erica on here. I had to have Charlie. I had to have these people. Jade. I had to have the people that came in here. Dot, Salim. I thank all of you that came over these past few weeks. Vita, everybody. Because I just need people to know, like what I experienced in teaching in the school. Shout out to Hardy. I shout you out every week. Shout out to my Hardy kids. I hope that I get a chance to come back, and I'm telling on them. I'm telling you, Erica, because they try to act like they don't have it in the budget to bring me back. Oh, wow. Then they tried to say because I don't have a bachelor's degree that I can't come back. But there's nothing that a bachelor's degree can give me that the life hasn't taught me already, and I've already proven to this school district that I can handle it. I've taught 2 classes with no degree, and these kids loved what I brought to the table. And every week I had to make something up. I had to figure it out. And shout out to Abby, because I wouldn't have had this opportunity had it not been for her. And I want to hear her perspective, because me and Abby had 2 different experiences. Come on in here, Abby. And this is the reality that we're dealing with, right? Because Abby got the assignment first to have this opportunity to go into our schools and teach with our kids. And it was Abby and it was another lady. Shout out to Patty. Patty is a white lady. Patty is a white lady who does not live in the city. She lives in Jersey. She's probably a little more privileged than us. I don't know. Just assuming based on my conversations with Patty, she's living her best life. Okay. Okay, she doesn't have the same struggles that we have. And I'm not judging, because I want to be where she is one day. Hopefully I'll get, whatever. But with that being said,
to be in a community position, you have to be relatable.
You gotta be. You gotta be.
I see where you were going with that.
And some of the relativity is in the struggle. Because if I hadn't experienced struggle in my lifetime, how can I be related? How can I relate to what people who are going through things are going through?
The stresses of life.
If I haven't experienced this, and that's why I say, fuck a bachelor's degree. Don't tell me what I can't do because I don't have the paperwork behind me to do it. Fuck that. And I want everybody to feel the same way who didn't get a chance to go to college or complete a college course and get your degree. Because I went to college. I'm far from stupid. I'm very smart. But college just didn't serve its purpose for me at the time. And with me being a mom and doing the things that I needed to do, that got put on the back burner. And I don't see me at 42 wanting to go back to college necessarily. Not saying that I won't. I don't know what the future holds.
You need a microphone.
Yep, mic her up, mic her up.
You want to talk? Get on the mic.
So if you had a bachelor's degree,
Can't see you. Come on.
if you had a bachelor's degree that had nothing to do with what they want you to do,
I would
She's
get
an
the job.
English teacher.
you would have got the job.
I would have got the job.
You would have got the job.
But this is why you're failing the kids, people. Because you're hiring people that ain't really relatable.
I know people.
You hire people that got degrees
Yes.
but ain't really like
I have
passionate
an experience, and this is our people.
Our
people
people.
that are just like us.
Our people.
One thing I don't do is allow you to treat me anything less than what I feel like I'm supposed to be treated, or my children.
That part.
So when I go to my kids' school, because I am an advocate for them, and I do not play about my children,
You're not
the
supposed
people
to.
that look like me sometimes give me the most trouble. And they feel like they're better than me, or my child is an issue, or they just lump me in with all the other children,
Yep.
or families that don't show their faces at the school. So because I am educated and I know my rights, and even if I didn't, you're not going to treat me anything less than what I am.
That's right.
So we are the same. They look at us the same. You just have a degree and you're here doing this. You don't know anything about me, so treat me nice.
That's
I'm going
it.
to treat you nice.
That's right.
So but they have their degrees and they're just like us, and then they act just like, it's still a form of racism, even though it's not racism. It's just prejudgment or whatever it is. They feel like they're better
black
than
on black
on
racism.
black. And just because you have,
And they are black people that are racist against other black people.
yes,
This is why
they
I
look
love
down.
the cartoon The Boondocks. Shout out to the Boondocks. Because Uncle Ruckus, he's a real person.
He is a real
There
person.
are Uncle Ruckuses and Auntie Ruckuses amongst us.
Absolutely.
Who don't fuck with us. Who don't want to see us succeed. Who don't like themselves. Let's be clear, you don't like yourself. You fucking hate yourself. If you don't like black people and you black as tar, you don't like yourself. And that's shame on you. God damn it. But that's the reality that we deal with. We are discriminated against other
There's a lot of
cultures
miserable
and
people,
ourselves.
That don't like
We just
themselves.
can't win.
I will just say one thing about you in the schools. You will be in the schools.
Amen.
You will be in the schools as your own boss,
Amen.
That's what I said.
and you will have others
Yes.
that will bring you in to do the work that you need to do.
Yeah.
Okay?
You heard that, Hardy?
Yeah.
It's
my hardy
coming.
kids, I love them.
Yeah, that's it. You can still do the service.
That's right.
And this is why we were talking offline about what we were talking about.
Yes.
So you can offer those services, and then they will pay you for those services to come in and provide what you need to provide.
Charlie. She keep hiding. She keep hiding. Get in here.
Go ahead,
I was
Charlie
just-
Bravo.
Listen, let me just squeeze in real
Get in
quickly.
here, Charlie.
I just had one thing to say about to piggyback off of what you were saying about having a degree. Some people are born with natural gifts, right? I was doing hair at 12. I was working in a hair salon at 13. I had clients before I was 14. I only went to hair school to get the piece of paper that I needed to open up my own business.
Right.
But before I was doing hair, anything you needed,
had
I
your
could
own
do
business
it.
already.
I had my own business, honestly, at 14 in my own basement.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you know.
Well,
And
know.
it's 30 years later,
Yeah.
and I'm still a salon owner.
Yeah.
But before I went to hair school, I was already doing my thing. So you don't need the degree to do the job. You know what I mean? You just
need the
the
passion.
Yeah.
The passion and the
Yeah.
drive to keep it
I mean,
going.
the paper might get you a little bit more pennies.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you have that gift already to nurture these children, that's what we need. Some
Right.
people that's born with the gift.
And sometimes you go through the front door. Sometimes we might need to go through the back door.
Right.
Or get in the
Right.
window.
Okay.
And it really doesn't matter.
That's right. You from Philly? Yeah. You know what's up.
I know how to break in.
Yeah.
I know how to get in. I know how to get in stuff.
Remember that time you talking about you was doing that B&E? The B&E that you did back
I did, but I'm shining the light back on Abby because I want to go back to what we were talking about, like in terms of just addressing your experience with working with the kids in the
Kids
schools.
at school.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I'm just sitting here listening to y'all, and I'm getting so angry and worked up inside, because I think the bigger issue is that we're just so disenfranchised as people, and like even the Sesame Street thing. None of these things would matter if we had power. Like, but we can empower ourselves too, right? And in school, who's teaching kids how to deal with money? Who talks to
Financial
us about how to
literacy.
deal with money?
Nobody.
And then we're in the communities and in these schools. They're not educating us how to do this. We're giving all these money to our churches. This money to our churches.
Talk about it.
How are we built? How is that cash flow building wealth for the Black community?
Are
Because
the
we've all
churches
given a lot of
investing?
money
Yeah.
to these churches, right?
Talk about it. Talk
The
about
other thing
the
is how the
pastors are riding
school-
around in
the other
Bentleys.
school. The other thing is how, right? Because it's not all on the schools. It's our communities. It's what we choose to put our resources into.
Yeah.
The other thing is probably what you can speak to better than me is how the schools are funded. They need to be federally funded equally.
And equally.
Equally, period. It
you
doesn't
go.
make any sense, right? Like we live in a capitalist country, but you don't teach our children how to be capitalists, right? And so then you say that you don't want to pacify them with social services. You got to teach them something, and it costs money to do it, and it has to be funded.
Get on up in there.
Being at the school made me angry because it was difficult for me to be with students of color and teach them. Because there's so many other things that are going on because they're disenfranchised,
Yep.
because they don't have.
Yep. Yep.
I'm like shaking. That was my experience in the school.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I said,
This is why I want
Chanel is ready because you see how worked up I'm getting just sitting
Just
here
talking
This
about
is why I couldn't be there. But Chanel is ready.
But there's so
So
many
I said,
teachers
I know
like her.
somebody
There's
who's
so many
ready.
people like her
She can go.
that get pushed out. Like Abby's an awesome person, an awesome spirit, and an awesome light.
I was reading the Bible to them in the classroom. I was going to get in trouble, but they were bad.
Those kids damn near tarred and feathered her and Patty and got the like it was crazy, but it just spoke to, again, just me and her are just different. You know what I mean? Our approach is a little different, and maybe I'm older than Abby, and my experiences may be different. So I came into that situation different from she did, the way that she did. Her and Patty were more, structured, I'll say,
I'm
because
strict.
I didn't have.
They said I was strict and mean.
But you have that structure.
Yeah.
That's structure.
Right.
That's not strict. That's structure. You came in there with a plan, with a structure, with a curriculum, and that you wanted to follow. And those kids didn't receive it.
Yep.
I didn't have structure. I'm telling you right now. I came in there with my speaker, with my personality, and was like, and it was many a days, like, I'm not even going to front. It was a couple times I was in that classroom crying to those kids, damn near cursing them out. And they were like, oh my God, we made Miss Nelly cry. No, you didn't make me cry, bitches. Now, let me tell you that
He's
right
frustrated.
now. You motherfuckers, now, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Like, and rest in peace, Bernie Mac. I wasn't scared of the kids. I was passionate about those kids. And it hurt me to see them doing dumb shit. And the parent in me wanted to whoop their ass. But I knew I couldn't. So all I could do was cry and express to them how angry I was with them. That they were letting these opportunities pass them by.
Right.
That they were, you know, and I understood some of the things that these kids endure, the things that they go through at home. You know, I know that it's not easy. And it wasn't until I had to tell them, listen, don't look at me and think that I just always was together. I've been molested. I had a kid at a young age. I was pregnant at a young age. I went through shit. My parents were on drugs. I was raised by my grandmother. Once I said all that, you should have seen the kid's face.
They could relate to you.
Like, you gonna tell us all that?
Hell
Fucking
yeah.
real, I'm gonna tell you all that. Because what I don't want you to think is that I ain't never been through some shit, but I'm over here talking to you as an adult who done did everything right, and now I want you to do. No, I have fucked up majorly. I'm still fucking up. I'm an adult. And I'm gonna always make mistakes, and that's what I wanted the kids to know. You're gonna make mistakes, but that doesn't mean that mistake defines you.
Right.
Your past, your where you come from, your neighborhood that you live in, none of that defines you.
Right.
People wouldn't know that I went through the struggles that I went through based on my personality, how I carry myself when I'm in a group of people, when I meet people. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I want to be a ray of sunshine no matter who I'm around, because I don't know, like, for instance, when I'm teaching my classes, I don't give a fuck if somebody comes to my class, Lee. Come in. I'm
You
not
made
that
it, right. You
instructor.
made that
I'm not that
effort.
instructor because what I don't know is what it took for you to get here.
Right.
I don't know what it took for you to get here. So how dare I, as a mindfulness person, shut you down in a moment where you might have been suicidal that morning and all you needed to do was get to my fucking class. It ain't that deep for me. I need you to just show up, and I need you to just feel better in your mind after you leave my class, whether you feel better physically or not. I don't care. Just as long as you don't feel like you wanted to commit suicide today. That's the purpose of my class, to keep one person from, to look forward to the future and want to live a little more. That's what I taught those kids. You know, and again, Abby, although you didn't have the same experience that I have, I'm so grateful for you. And those kids, even though they didn't connect with you the way that I did, they're grateful for you. So thank Abby, kids. Even though you didn't like her, doesn't matter. She passed the torch to me.
I
She
cared about y'all enough to say
That's somebody else.
this isn't
Yeah,
for
this
me.
isn't for me.
And I know somebody that wants to be here with you guys.
And it
I
was
love
that.
you, but you don't listen.
And guess what, kids? And that's
That
the
was
thing.
the right choice, though.
For
Yeah.
real. Go ahead, Erica.
I just want to say, when you go into the schools, it's alarming, right? You're not aware. People are not aware of what our children have to endure in school, or just to get an education and what's going on in the dynamics of those classrooms. But there is some lights that are there, right? And so we just recently, our organization wrote a program called PATH, and that stands for Positive Alternatives for Trauma and Healing. And they will have neighborhood advisors. It's already funded. I'm hiring.
I'm looking.
Well then,
I'm looking because that's mindfulness in yoga is a path of alternative trauma. What you say?
PATH
Yeah.
stands for Positive Alternatives for Trauma and Healing, right? So
Put me
these
on the
neighborhood advisors will be working with the schools, giving the case management services, meaning the special attention as some of these children will need without you being involved in the mental health component. Without you getting those wraparound services that you got to wait for.
And that's so important.
Right. And you also will be working with parents, right? To be able to provide case management to those Karens. So I'm cocooning myself around you to say, hey, I see you, and you need some extra support. Guess who needs extra support? It's 2 teachers.
Oh my God, I'm
People
so
that are
glad
coming
you
in
said
like
that.
you to help and support. You need extra support. So when we bring this program to specific schools, and I'm starting with a couple of pilots in North Philadelphia, what do you think those teachers going to say, right? They're going to have a list of students in their classrooms that we're going to have you help identify that might need these wraparound services, right? So we can deal with the trauma and to find out the whys. But we also can find out what your interests are. And then we can get you exposed to some of your interests. But we also can bring some supportive services in, like some yoga and mindfulness.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
Services and whatever else. And then also work with the families. So this is coming. This is new,
I love it.
2022 at Central Division Victim Services, PATH program. So when I launch it and send it out, y'all know that you heard it first.
All right, so how can people connect with you, Erica? How can they get in touch with
Definitely. I'm at Central Division Victim Services. We're located at 1538 Cecil B. Moore Avenue, Philadelphia, PA, right up the street from Temple University. Our number is 215, area code 763-3280. My direct extension is 106. I also can be reached by email. That is, I'm mobile. I'm in the streets. I'm also working from home. And I also go into the office. So email me, connect with me at egaines, and that's EGAINES at cdvservices.org. And follow CDVS on our website. We're on Instagram, all our social media platform sites.
you? Okay, and Charlie, how can people get in touch with you, Charlie? Call you on your cell phone.
Drake. You got the hotline bling.
Call me on my cell phone.
Right now, they could just contact me. I'm so emotional listening to the stuff about the kids and stuff.
Listen,
Facebook
heavy.
is Charlie Bravo. Instagram is Tangled in the Web _ Charlie Bravo. And then you can get connected to all the other sites.
Okay. And we got Davita in the background, chilling, hiding. How can people get in touch with you, lady?
You can get in touch with me on social media, Instagram, Vita Vidal Wellness, also on Facebook, and you can get connected with anything I'm doing on both of those sites.
Abby?
I'm Abby. If you need to get in contact with me, you can hit me up on Abby. What is it? What am I? Abby Makes Juice.
Abby Makes Juice.
Abby Makes Juice on Instagram. You can call me at 770-896-2545. If you need help with food, call me. You can cry and talk to me.
Yeah, she's the lady. I'm telling you, a lot of our issues start with what we put in our bodies. That statement that we are what we eat is very, 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 very true. We think that if we cut out one thing and take too much of another, like we think a lot of us eat a lot of seafood. Seafood is not good for us like that. Like shellfish has a lot of like
Stuff.
Let's say a lot of
effects.
people in our
And
community
sodium.
are struggling with
Sodium.
diabetes,
Cholesterol.
with high blood
Kidney
pressure,
failure.
cholesterol.
Dialysis. I
If
tell
you're-
people, like,
and
why do
and
we
they're
have so many
feeling-
dialysis
They're
centers?
feeling so overwhelmed, and it's just a matter of having the information. So
It's
you
about
can
educating.
contact me.
See, I'm educating you guys about everything. Stuff in the
Mindful
community,
eating.
mindfulness, nutrition, fitness, wellness, mindfulness. I'm educating you guys about what's going on in the community. Now I got my bro over here. Got to shine a light on my
I look
guy.
good on your phone.
Hey, listen, this is my bro Dom. How can people get in touch with you, bro?
Go on Instagram, Poppy Store Podcast at Poppy Store Podcast is again, it's a street corner perspective of Philadelphia at large. We just chronicle, just shared and relatable 215 experiences. So
When you gonna have me on your podcast, huh?
very soon, very very soon.
I want to bring some characters. He be bringing characters. Like y'all gotta check out his podcast. This dude is hilarious, yo. He be bringing the characters. I'll be like, yo, I know you be in the background crying like, what is this dude talking about? So now, Rosie.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, thank everybody for taking the time out to be with us today and share information with people. was a dope experience. It's been fun. The month of July has been fun, as we talked
Cancer
about.
season, cancer
So
season.
fitting, so fitting that it was
well,
cancer
the,
season. I had
the
all these
Leos are
cancers.
in now, so
Yeah, but you know.
We dominate.
all
We
We
got
got
y'all,
three cancers up here, so shout out to the cancers.
Yeah,
Shout out to the
absolutely.
Capricorns, the December Capricorn.
We still on cancers. We still on the cancers.
What other signs
Shout
we
out to
got?
us.
What other signs we got?
She
What
said
you
that
got?
was a C, so I fitted it.
It's still hot outside.
But no, and shout out to Dom over here because he made me thorough John of the week.
Yes, you were.
Yes, John of the week.
Yes.
So that was kind of
Yes.
neat. Thanks.
That's my bomb, y'all.
Yeah,
That's my
thank you.
bomb.
Thank
He
you
ain't
for
dropping
that.
no
Thank you
bombs
for being
for us.
thorough.
Yeah.
Shout out Libras. My daughter's a Libra. We shouting them out too.
How y'all ain't
yes.
get here?
And shout out Leos. My son and my dad's a Leo.
This is Jade,
Yeah,
y'all. Y'all
yeah,
remember her
yeah,
from the first
Jade.
episode when we was talking to the youth? She is a special young lady that when you talk about Jade, you want to meet Miss Erica right here behind you.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
is very well spoken in terms of just reaching your youth. You need to connect with this lady. She might have some opportunities for you, employment and different stuff.
Well, if we got a whole
Oh
backstory
yeah,
over
Mr.
here.
Frazier's
Thanks for
grandson,
tuning into the
Joe
X Radio.
Frazier's grandson came to shout out to Hanif. He didn't get a chance to come up here, but that's her uncle, and he's doing things in the community. So shout out to what is it? Clean up our streets, clean up the block, sweep up the.
Sweep up
shout
the
out to
block.
sweep up the block. See, this is what I'm saying, people. It's people out here that are on these in our streets, in our neighborhoods. Just really trying to impact our communities in a positive way. And we don't know everything about what people got going on. And Erica is that person. Like, anytime somebody come to me and say, oh, I want to do something in my community. All right, I'm sending you to her because she is it.
Erica's definitely
She's
it.
it. She's
So-
it. If you want to know something that's going on in the community, down to let's talk about oh God.
We're gonna have to talk after.
Oh, okay.
We
We're
wrap
almost
this
done.
up.
All
They
right,
want to get
thanks.
off there.
All right, we done, y'all. We done.
Thanks for tuning into the X
Yes.
Radio. You can check out if you missed any part of this episode and you're interested in more information about anything that we talked about today. You can check out the full episode on YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in Glockaware, and look for the latest episode of the X Radio. Until then, make sure you check me out on all platforms. THERPX. Google me. I'll come up, including my website, Rosie Porter. And again, thanks for sharing your time in the month of July with me.
Namaste,
It's been
everybody. It has been awesome. The light in me honors and respects the
Yeah.
light in each of you.
Yeah,
Peace out.
absolutely. And to next week, we have Bullyproof Boxing coming on
Oh,
for the month of
too.
August. Yeah.
Okay, bro. All right, I want to be a special guest on that show. I got